Alright, today we're back working on my nephew's car. Last time y'all saw this was the K24. He exploded. We got it all done, turbo, went to the dyno, he went home and blew it up on the way home. Now, we swapped some stuff over. Last time y'all saw it, we did put a different carbon fiber hood. I think it's actually fiberglass with a carbon fiber sticker on top. At least it was like $20, so definitely a nice upgrade. It does have some Sparko wheels on it. I don't know if they're on there last time. Definitely very nice. And he did get this big ass Speed Factory intercooler. It looks like the one off my race car, just twice as thick. I think it says good for like 1,000 or 1,200 horsepower or something. If you'll give me a second, I'll pop the hood and I'll kind of show you the rest. Also, got rid of the orange seats. I took these out of my Integra, so he does have some racing seats. It does have a harness bar. And we did get rid of the back seat for the moment. I think he's gonna get different color actual harnesses. I believe he might get my black ones in my car. But until then, these definitely work. I go up here and mess with this intake because it was leaking. But I'll pop the hood and I'll show you what kind of swap we got now. Alright, instead of K24 this time, we went with a K20Z3. Definitely very nice. I actually went ahead and put a new timing chain, new tensioner, bunch of gaskets, like a new rear main seal, and a bunch of other odd stuff. It was on the engine stand. I had time. I painted the block, and you can tell, but it is very nicely painted. It's kind of hard to see from all the stuff in the way, but it does look good. It does have mainly K-tune stuff, like a K-tune map sensor, kind of bunch of everything. It does have like a K motor, fuel rail, and regulator. I believe we went with a cheap, like eBay, like $70 power steering delete kit. We did get a new alternator because the other one was doing like 17 or 18 volts. I'm not sure what the hell is going on with that. It does have a Speed Factory catch can too. I think everything he bought was pretty much good stuff. We're kind of like putting all the good stuff as we go. It does got a Skunk 2 radiator. I did give him this little teeny, it looks quite big on here, but it is a little, I think a 57mm eBay turbo. It definitely works. Everybody doubts them. I've been 10 seconds on this little cheap ass kind of turbo, so don't doubt them. It does have some kind of eBay manifold that we spent days grinding, getting flat, because they must have welded it and it wasn't flat, so that was a nightmare. He just recently also made this up pipe while he was down here. I think, what else did we get? It does have boost by gear. I do have Honda K Pro on it. He's using mine at the moment, then we're going to get it tuned. We'll put his back in. I believe he does have 1,000cc injectors. I believe they're Deetsworks injectors, 1,000cc's. Beyond that, pretty much everything is kind of stock-ish. It does now also do a 5-speed transmission. I put a 6-speed out of my 05 RSX in there, so definitely works. It does have a brand new Stage 5 competition clutch and flywheel, so she definitely should hold the power. If you want, give me a few minutes. Let's see what else I can get into. Also, it does have some new blackish headlights. I like them way better than the JDM ones from 2001. A couple of Skunk 2 things. But I guess I'm going to get to the other stuff. I'm going to start pulling the intake off. Because while I was waiting, he actually ordered a nice Skunk 2 intake. I already did open the box because once I seen the little hole, I was kind of making sure. And he did get an adapter plate because the actual manifold won't bolt to the throttle body we got because it's off at E2. Give me a few minutes, I'll open the box and kind of go from there. Alright, like I said, I had previously opened it just to make sure it wasn't all damaged. When I pulled it out, I was not impressed. Hopefully it was not terribly expensive. It almost looks like the one I got from fucking eBay. Like it doesn't have the nameplate up here. But I did look. It does have the Skunk 2 packaging and stuff. So somebody knocked it off. They did a good job. But it does have the little Pro Series, and you got to put in there. You see it just glues in there. It pops in place. When I got one from eBay, it was not good. Like I went to touch it, the damn fitting fell out of here, and nothing was right. Hopefully this one, it wasn't a knockoff, and somebody didn't sell a cheap one. I guess time will tell when I get it pulled apart. This is the data plate we also had to get. It's from Jack Spanier Racing. We just had a Florida, I believe, somewhere. But it makes the Z3 fit the K20Z3. It might fit the other ones too, obviously, but that's what we had it for. So obviously, the throttle body on them was electronic. On the one we have is obviously cable driven, so had to make it work. So, yes, let me get stuff unboxed and I'll go over here, start pulling the car apart. I pull the harness off the injectors and kind of get everything out the way. Hopefully, the alternator's going to clear because obviously, y'all weren't here, but when we were down here last time messing with it, the alternator is real close. I'm not sure if the A2 is just centered a little different. Guess we'll find out when we put the new one on. By the way, if y'all wondering why we're actually pulling this off, I don't know if y'all can tell. If y'all buy these, don't do it. Back there's a little adapter plate. It's a little block off to make the coolant. Kind of, the A2 doesn't have the coolant thing there. On the actual block, it actually did, so we put a little $30, $20 adapter plate. Has the coolant sensor thing, which we done cut down like 4 times, which barely clears, if you're wondering. Hopefully without that, we shouldn't need it. As on this one, it's obviously up top, so the temp sensor will be up top. We ain't worried about it. Alright, I think I'm just going to jump ahead and start pulling it apart. And I'll just bring y'all along once I get a little farther. It'll be a little easier than trying to do everything and kind of film the whole thing so I don't get my hands dirty and get my phone all nasty. I forgot too much further. Got the fuel rail off, the throttle body off, which was easier because it still got coolant lines on it. I'm using the same throttle body, so it's easier to the other side. Unhooked the injector plugs and all the miscellaneous dumb stuff. I had to just cut this off because you weren't here. That was no way we get it off there, so it was easier just to cut it. Moderately, just got to pull this little coolant adapter off next, and should be good. That's pretty much got too far to show y'all. I'm probably gonna get the intake off and clean up for the night because it is probably like 8 o'clock and I'm going inside to find something to eat. Alright, it's probably a good place to start for the night. Intake's off. I got the bottom coolant line off, and honestly, it made a mess. But right here, that goes up to the little adapter thing I had on there. Wanted to get it off, obviously, it did not want to come off, so I just kind of cut it and ripped it off. Another hose is only a couple bucks, so I'd rather be a new one than 2 new clamps anyway. So I guess tomorrow I'm gonna double check, make sure I didn't forget something, like something sitting somewhere. I'm pretty sure all my tools are cleaned up. Anything I don't need is out the way. I think tomorrow's gonna get a gasket for it and put it back together, I guess. I'm pretty sure I don't still have the old gasket. Yes, let me see if Napa has one in the morning, or I'll check tonight while I'm thinking about it. And tomorrow afternoon, I'll have her done. Alright, this is the following day. Had to run to the AutoZone, which obviously isn't close to my house. Usually Napa's a mile down the road, or AutoZone's like a good half hour away. But I had my gasket. I think it wound up being like $9. But it's a intake gasket, throttle body gasket, the little O-ring and stuff, which I probably won't need. But I'm gonna open this up, make sure everything's gonna fit before I get too far. Alright. After struggling with like 3 or 4 different coolant hoses for the bottom, for the piece down here. So you can see my hand, but from there to the bottom where the actual thermostat housing is, it didn't want to go. I had to actually find one. I have no idea what the hell hose I used, but it had to have a 90 on both sides. Well, not on both sides, but 90 on the thermostat housing side. I guess I'm gonna go back, see what else I can find, because went ahead and got all the bolts on. It's all torqued down. Now I gotta pull the fittings and all the little sensors out because it needs a vacuum port here. Need to put the coolant temp sensor here, so yes, let me start getting all the old parts off the old motor and I'll get a little further. Alright, digging through the odd parts, I did find a temp sensor adapter so I don't have to steal out the old blown up K24. And I did have the old temp sensor that we had on there. We had to cut it to fit the throttle body. Like the throttle blade literally sat so close we had to cut, I'd say probably a ½ inch to 3/4 inch of the stud off. So if you unbolt it, it'll literally fall off and you can't bolt it back on. So I'm probably gonna go with the Honda one I have. It's brand new. It's one of my backup ones I bought, but I guess I'll use it for now and just worry about it later. The plug is different, so I gotta make a different piece for the end. It's more like the oil pressure sensor adapter or the plug versus the bolt-on style like this one. Not a big deal. You see what size it is, tape it up. I'll be right back. Alright, the Honda temp sensor's in, which is 12mm. A little thread tape on there just because it's in the coolant. I did go ahead and put the vacuum line one on too. It was a 7/16. I went ahead and tightened it down. Since it's not a cheap ass manifold, I did tighten the shit out of it. Usually them China knockoff ones, they want to strip or shit once I fall off, so I wasn't gonna push my luck too much. This one is a nice skunk tune one, so hopefully everything else goes good. Alright, sorry, I skipped ahead. I did have to put a throttle body adapter on it. It is the nicer Z3 manifold, but we're using an A2 actual throttle body, which is obviously, you look at it, it's a little smaller. But it was some Jack Spandy or some kind of shit off the internet. Yeah, Jack Spandy Racing. So if y'all do need an adapter, they're not much. I don't think he paid but like 30 bucks for it. But I wanted to make sure it was going to fit before I got too far, and it did fit. And it did come with a gasket I need. So, yes, give me a few minutes. I'm going to torque everything down and get the throttle body on, plug everything in, and kind of get to the next part, like the injectors and everything else. Alright, let's get way ahead. I went ahead and got the throttle body bolted on. It has some fucking little elements you got to kind of work around everything I had. First, taking the radiator out, I just made it work with a couple extensions. But brake boosters hooked back up. Fix the wire on the starter and alternator, that way the wires ain't dangling or nothing, because it's gonna get hot over here. So pretty much gotta figure out just the vacuum, because this don't have a vacuum over here like the other intake did. It has one up here, so I'm gonna just put a T on it, or see if it has another vacuum port I can't see. And they put the throttle body back on too, or the throttle cable, I mean, the K10 one. Now basically just doing the injectors and putting the fuel rail back on, hooking the two fuel lines back up. Alright, fuel rail's on, got all the plugs hooked back up, kind of hit the wires a little better. They have a problem though. The vacuum line that goes to the actual regulator broke the fuck off. For some reason it's plastic, I don't know why they use a plastic fitting. I guess I'm gonna wait till tomorrow, it's already getting late. I'm gonna try to get that out of there, put a metal fitting on there, and I go to the hardware store and buy one. Alright, I kind of skipped that part, but in the morning time, obviously, I went down to my brother's and borrowed the extractor he has to get, like, plastic out. I went ahead and used it. It moderately got it out, but I had to take the damn chisel thing and knock it the rest of the way out and kind of rip it out with some needle nose. But I did want to find a metal fitting to put in there too, so that metal fitting will definitely be good for years. I don't know why K Motor thought this cheap ass plastic fitting shit was good. Guess let me go ahead and find another vacuum tee so I can kind of connect all these together and kind of go from there. I'll be right back. Alright, vacuum line's done. Like I said, I just teed it off with the one main thing and just kind of regulator into the rest of my stuff. I'm gonna change it later for him, but for today, just make sure the car's gonna run and drive. It'll definitely work. Just give me a second. I'm gonna go here, turn the key, make sure it's gonna start up, or make sure I didn't forget to plug something in or something random. Alright, I set the key on, prime the fuel pump. It does have pressure, nothing appears to be leaking. Guess we hop out here and make sure it's gonna start. Alright, if you are wondering about this car, it's a 2000 Civic SI. My buddy bought it and took, and I think he drove for a couple of years. It was electric blue, V16 turbo, was fast and cool. We blew it up. Then I believe he went kind of fast and furious, as y'all can tell. He did the whole interior orange and black, and in the 2000s it was cool. Kind of after that, it kind of ran out of fashion. He did even shave the taillights and stuff. It does have the big body kit, but obviously he didn't leave it on there at the moment. But it is all airbrushed, and I think this car still only has like 60,000 miles. Yeah. He even painted the dash, but it only has 65,000 miles. I bought it from the actual person who bought it brand new and put like $20,000 worth of stuff on it. Alright, I got everything done. I still gotta just bleed the coolant and a couple other things. Guess till next time, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Have a good day.